I've decided to no longer participate in the official NaNoWriMo event or support the nonprofit. Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Chase and I'm an aspiring fantasy author. You may know me from my other channel where I used to post hiking videos, but probably not. You probably found this video because of the title, which, it makes sense. So let's get into this topic without any further delay. For most of my life, my big dream has been to become a published fiction author. Back in elementary school, I started writing short stories, and that love for creating hasn't wavered. More than a decade ago, I discovered National Novel Writing Month, or NaNoWriMo, and I've been participating in the annual writing challenge ever since. For those who don't know, NaNoWriMo is a challenge where you write 50,000 words during November. There's NaNoWriMo, the challenge, and NaNoWriMo, the organization. For a decade, I've supported both the challenge and the nonprofit by participating in it and donating. But after recent events, particularly since the end of 2022, I've decided to no longer participate in the official NaNoWriMo event or support the nonprofit. I will still tackle a November writing challenge, but it won't be through NaNoWriMo. First, I want to recap my history with NaNoWriMo. I discovered Nano in November 2013, 3 days after the writing challenge began. I was in high school and some of my friends were participating, and I wanted to write a novel based on some short stories I wrote in elementary school and junior high. So I signed up. I was behind pace every day that month until I somehow met the 50K goal early. That following year, my friends and I participated in friends-only write-ins and encouraged each other, and it was just so much fun to write with friends, accomplish something, and be inspired by reading the forums and joining in the fun with word sprints. For the next decade, Nano became a yearly tradition I looked forward to. The forums made me feel like part of the community as someone who had never attended a regional write-in. I loved using prompts in the fantasy forum to work on world building or share funny dialogue lines, and who could forget the infamous Nanoisms threads. I met one of my writing friends through the forums, who invited me to a Discord server of other writers in 2018. Our small group of writers became close and is still active. Shout out to all of them. In 2018, we hosted our own sprints, shared art, and even read each other's novels during a novel swap after Nano. Those are experiences I wouldn't have had without the Nano community. Word sprints on Twitter were also a staple of my early years of participating. It was fun to challenge myself to write as many words as possible, only taking a break for Nagobati, or National Go to the Bathroom Time, until I met my goal for the day. I remember donating for the first time in 2018. I was just out of college, I didn't have a job yet, and I just moved to Utah, where I was for a few years. And, I didn't have an income coming in, but I had a little bit of money, and I wanted to give back to this organization that had given me so much. I wrote a post on Twitter about donating on November 3rd, 2018, which said, "This is my 6th year participating in NaNoWriMo, and today I donated for the first time. It feels good to finally be able to give back to a program that has encouraged me to write more and chase my dreams." The then executive director, Grant Faulkner, read my tweet that same day during a Double Up Day live stream. I remember thinking that was pretty cool, getting a shout out like that. 2018 was the peak of NaNoWriMo for me. Friends, good vibes, and just so much fun. In 2019, NaNoWriMo released a new website. The changes were a mess, and they still are, putting it bluntly. Things didn't work as well as they did before, and the layout was more confusing. It seemed like changes were made for no reason, like changing how the word count graph looks. The worst was the forums, which were really the lifeblood of the organization for me. After they moved the forums to Discourse, I used the forums less and Discord more because the new forums were not user-friendly or intuitive. Not restarting threads with the forum purge every year made it feel less centered on November. It made it harder to get in on the discussion. And the bugs, the bugs were everywhere, and a lot of them still are. Despite these hiccups, I still believed in Nano. They could eventually improve the website, right? As time passed, it became clear that I had misplaced my optimism with the organization. My annoyance with the website led me to visit only to update my word count or check out the forums a few times each year, usually during Preptober. While annoying, I still participated and supported Nano. Once again, I still believed in their mission and that they would improve things over time. Then more issues arose. I'm not going to cover the current issues in depth as so many others have already done so, and honestly, they've done a much better job than I ever could. So I'm just going to link to resources and videos in the description that you can check out if you want to learn more, and I really recommend that you do because there is so much going on these last few years that I really do recommend digging into it because there is just so much. But to summarize, here are some of the recent events that have stained the organization. So first, in 2022, one of their sponsors was found to basically be a scam. I followed along as this unfolded, and I was just so appalled by Nano's response to the issue. I remember taking to Twitter and calling them out on it as well. As many of you probably know, there were allegations of child grooming on the Young Writers Program site that NaNoWriMo hosts. There were also some racist comments from moderators, and everything just got really messy in November last year. Moderators went too far and began to silence criticism, and kids who were just trying to be heard and reveal what was going on YWP. And like I said, I'm not going to go into all the details here, but I'll link to the resources in the description so that you can read and watch to learn more. As a result of all the things that went on last year, NaNoWriMo's board closed the forums. It makes sense why you would do that, but they still have not reopened. They also shut down regions for a time, and there are currently no MLs who are volunteers who help organize official events in their regions. All of the community aspects of NaNoWriMo are gone. Right now, it's just a website where you can track your progress, which you can do with a Google Sheet or something like TrackBear. There's really no reason right now to use the website because they're not hosting any events. There's no MLs, there's no forums, there's no community. The way that they've handled all of the allegations and moderator abuse just hasn't gone very well. In my opinion, the interim director is running the organization to the ground. She's been nothing but condescending to the community and attacks those who criticize the organization. All communications from NaNoWriMo since last November read as subtle and sometimes not so subtle attacks on the community. They've made nothing but excuses for inaction and frequently cite bullying and harassment as their reasons for not communicating with us. In reality, they seem to see any criticism as bullying. Then more recently, in 2024, they issued a bizarre statement about AI and defending its use. This seems against everything Nano has always stood for, which is fostering creativity and helping writers. I believe AI is anti-creative. But these disagreements aside, they also called those who don't agree classist and ableist. It's all very strange. And now there's some recent ML drama. Because there are no MLs this year, the official Preptober email went into that a little bit, and it seemed to make it like it's okay, because all they do is send emails anyway, right? No joke. That is what the most recent email from the organization said, is that, the one benefit basically of not having MLs this year is that you'll have less emails in your inbox. Like, way to discredit all of the hard work MLs have done over the years. And those are just some of the many reasons why I am not participating in the official challenge or donating anymore. So what am I doing now? I'm still going to try to write 50,000 words or so in November. I'm going to continue working on my existing fantasy novel, which is 127,000 words right now. I'm not setting a hard goal as much as I am committing to writing regularly through the end of the year. I'll be tracking my progress on my own and cheering on others in the various Discord communities that I'm part of. I've also joined new Discord communities like Rogue Writers which hosts their own writing challenges that I think will be really fun to participate in. I just wanted to make this video since I've been a very public supporter of NaNoWriMo in the past. This year would have been my 12th time participating, and I'm sad, really. I loved NaNoWriMo and the community, and I've had so much fun over the years. I always look forward to it. Preptober is always an exciting time. You know, prepare your novel, working on maps, and then just getting into the madness with everybody in November. And it's just not the same without the community centralized on the NaNoWriMo website. But with all the current events, it's not going to be that way. So, goodbye, Nano. I hope it's not forever, but I have so little faith in you at this point. Thanks for watching this video. I do plan on making more videos just about my progress with writing, what I'm doing to prepare, and just talk more about my writing because it's really my biggest hobby, it's my big dream, and I don't ever talk about it. Most people follow me on social media to see my photography and that sort of stuff, see what hikes I go on, which is another hobby of mine, but it's not my dream. So I want to start making more videos about my writing because it is what I'm passionate about. So I hope you'll follow along, and like I said, I just wanted to get this out there because I've been such a public supporter of NaNoWriMo for so many years, and I am not anymore.